got Nick here with Emerald Pro Construction. He's going to tell us a little bit about his business and where he's at and what he specializes in. Got you thinking about starting your own business?
Uh, Honestly, got tired of being treated poorly by people who are making more money off of my hard work. So if I can do the work and I can talk to people, might as well do it all in myself and treat everybody with a little bit more respect.
I think that's the reason why a lot of entrepreneurs or business people get started. They don't feel appreciated by the people that have
Absolutely.
employed them. They've developed a skill and they feel like they need to do more with those skills.
Absolutely.
So when you're feeling limited, you kind of look for ways to do more. And so I applaud you for taking the courageous, bold move to start your own
I
company.
appreciate it. It was a lot bigger of a step than I anticipated, but of course, I don't bootstrap kind of route. Like I'm no business loans. It's purely hard work, showing up, and just being polite to my customers. So
I respect that. Yeah, that's the grassroots bootstrapping is kind of like where I started out, and I think that anyone who is bold enough to take on, leave the comfort of that steady
yep.
paycheck and just depend on their ability to bring in sales, in order to put food on the table. That's a big leap of
Oh
faith.
yeah.
And how long have you been doing this now?
This specific venture, about 3 months, but construction in general, 5 years. I'm a journeyman sprinkler fitter, so
Okay.
I'm
So
well
you hold
qualified.
down the job while you do this business on the side.
No, I stepped away from that entirely. Just I'm
So
doing this
now
full
you're
force.
full
Yep.
force. All right.
The house, the yard, give us a
So
call. We'll figure out
you're
what we
like a
can do.
jack of all trades.
Yes, one shop. You call us, we'll send out exactly what you need to get it done eventually.
And tell me, what's the thing that your company does best?
Expectations. I like the saying that we don't make excuses, we make results.
Think that separates you from maybe your competition? Is that investment in your
Absolutely.
customer?
Yes. Through the past few months, I've worked with other guys that did this just to try and get different perspective and learn. And what they constituted is acceptable to lead for the customer. The guy was correct. The function was there, but the aesthetic wasn't what the customer wanted. And I was like, there's no reason that we shouldn't have just put, an extra foot on the gutters to make sure that the customer is happy with the visual aspect of the results.
So
So,
you're the kind of contractor that doesn't mind going the extra mile for the customer.
right.
I know being cost centric in terms of, what your contract says and living within the four corners is a nice safe place to control margins.
Yeah.
But I think that, going the extra mile goes a long way with the customer in terms of referrals.
At the
Okay.
end of the day, I want every single customer to have a smile on their face with the results that they've got. Strongest suit would be interior remodeling, repairs, and of that sort.
Nice, nice. What do you use to help you with your estimating process?
That has been the hardest learning curve from all of it, to be honest. It's kind of just guessing, and as long as I have an idea of what to charge for labor, just because with this, it's I can pay per job, but as far as like what markup I should for or inventory and all that, it's kind of just guessing at this point.
So, and doing an audit, have you?
Only because of I happen to write down all of the ones that I've done so far. But if it wasn't, that's if I lose them or ruin them, I have no
Then you have
backup.
no way.
Right.
Okay. That's kind of why I built Axe. Like Axe will provide that type of system. Do you have a system that you use right now?
I do not.
I think that's the number one thing that is forsaken. And I'm guilty as charged. I didn't start out thinking, oh, this is a tool that I need in my toolbox. I thought all I need is a saw in one
Right.
hand and a nail gun in the other, and
Absolutely.
I can take on the world. Well, Axe has AI estimating and proposal building in it, so it'll get you there.
Right.
It'll definitely help you keep from leaving money on the table, possibly. But let's say that you just use the proposal builder itself and bid the jobs the way you did. You're going to be able to look back on that, audit it, because all the data is there autonomously
Right.
for you to reflect on and say, okay, I see I spent too much on this area. I need to put more in labor on this area and things of that nature. And more than anything else, you're going to find where your strengths and weaknesses are so that you can kind of steer your business in the direction of
Exactly.
your strengths so that you can have more margin, more profit.
Absolutely. I could probably just pay for a personal assistant to do all of this stuff for me, which was a joke, but essentially, because the only reason I didn't have one of these tools already is because I hadn't found one that I thought was worth the money to spend.
I was just looking over all of my competition's pricing. Axe is the only one that doesn't charge per seat, per
Right.
data point. Like it is a very well packaged, affordable plan that as your company scales, we're never going to ask you for more money.
Right.
Right? These tools it's built for guys like you to be able to have the system in place that you need to be able to operate like the bigger companies. And so what separates them from the other guys is the revenue, the ability to cash flow, the funding and the resources to be able to organize that infrastructure.
Right.
But today, guys like me and you, man, we can leverage technology to fill the gap.
Absolutely.
I'm able to manage $3 to $4 million a year in business by myself.
Exactly.
Now, that sounds like that's not that much, Anthony. But like, if it's by yourself,
For an independent individual contractor that's completely well, the union or I mean $20 million project. So I have the depth of knowledge for something through large scale and small scale. So that $3 to something million by yourself is tremendous.
Yeah.
That is definitely something accolade to hold proudly.
Yeah, dude, I'm proud of you too, man. Thanks for sharing that. Nick, I appreciate your time, spending time with us.
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
would share with me a few pictures of your work, things that you've done,
I